Greetings, Yisrael, Brother Mac Moshe, Shabbat Shalom. I'd like to say to the nation of Yisrael, the 10 lost tribes, known and unknown, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. This will be my first video presentation, just a few minutes sample. Ruach HaKodesh, the set-apart spirit of Elohim, had just come down on me as I was taking this Shabbat Sabbath, and she was dealing with me on this issue. Came up with 3 questions, and the first question that she asked me in my spirit, my ruach, was this: why did the Most High create the nation of Yisrael? Like I said, Ruach HaKodesh is dealing with me. She had been dealing with me on, going back to the basics, because we are new. Many of us are new. Those of us that call ourselves Hebrew, many of us are new to this new Hebraic way of life, this new train of thought. Okay, many of us are new, just like a brand new baby that come into the world, a physical human being that is birthed and come into the world. That child needs to be taught, has to be taught. And similar, so are we, those that have been spiritually reawakened into the knowledge of our true identity, the knowledge of our true heritage, the knowledge of our true calling, being Hebrews. And we have been scattered throughout this world, the four corners of the earth, which Most High will, this initial lesson is leading into that. It'll be leading into this. This is just the first lesson. But back to the question: why did the Most High create the nation of Yisrael? And as she gave me, as the Ruach HaKodesh, as she gave me this question, okay, she led me to certain scripture. The first scripture, and this will be just a very brief. It only takes one word, okay? It only takes one word from the Most High to change individual person's life. So we're only going to be dealing with a couple of scriptures dealing with this initial question. But this will build. Like I said, the Most High will, this lesson will build upon the next lesson and next lesson, so on and so forth. Precept upon precept. Genesis 3 and 15. Bereshit 3 and 15. The word says, I will put enmities between thee and the woman, and thy seed, and her seed. And it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt lie in wait for her heel. Okay? Let me read that one more time. Genesis 3rd chapter, the 15th verse. I will put enmities between thee and the woman, and thy seed and her seed, and it shall crush thy head, and thou shalt lie in wait for her heel. Wow. Glory to Elohim. Now, when the set-apart spirit come upon you, many of you know, I pray that you bless with the set-apart spirit, with her wisdom and her discernment. That is why she is who she is. And that, me calling her she, that's very relative, new to me also. I always refer to the set-apart spirit of Elohim in the male tense. However, that's going to be, that also too, we'll delve into that. I like to tell persons that I meet on a daily basis, as the Most High, as He gives it to me, I give it out. Many times it's just on a one-on-one basis for those that I'm blessed to come into contact with on a day-to-day basis, whoever they may be. But let's go back to this scripture, Genesis 3:15. Words, many times in scripture you just have to take words. Now, we can go off deep. You can go deep. You can go so many ways, especially when the text is written or was initially written in Hebrew. You can go and you can break down every word in just one verse, take it all the way back to the Hebrew, okay, and break it down. Yes, we're blessed with the We have been blessed. Glory to the Most High. Of course, I thank Him. He blessed me with the capacity to do things like that. But for the sake of time, this is, like I say, it's a short lesson. Let's just break the word down in key words out of this verse. Let's just break it down in English. And the first word that stood out in that verse, enmity. Okay? What is enmity? Enmity is the state of feeling being actively opposed or hostile to someone or something. In other words, the state of feeling actively opposed or hostile to someone or something else. So, who is this verse? Who is the Most High speaking to in this verse? He's speaking to the enemy, who we call the enemy, Ha-Satan, the adversary, okay, a spiritual, supernatural being, a fallen son. I use that. All of these things, people can watch this video and it's be debatable on who Satan is, Ha-Satan. The Christians have one view. All of the monotheistic religions of the world are going to have a different view, okay? Believers in those certain beliefs. The Jews will have one belief. The Hebrews will have a belief. The Christians, the Muslim, they will have different beliefs. But for the sake of this, what the Most High have revealed to me, Ha-Satan was once a son of God, okay? The highest over the choir. And we'll get off into these things, Most High willing. He was created in beauty and lots of splendor and glory. He rebelled against the Most High. He was cast down, okay? In the garden, the Most High is speaking after what we call the fall of Adam and Eve, the very first man. The Most High is speaking to the serpent, okay? And he's prophesying to him. This is one of the first prophecies, if not the first prophecy, in the Torah, in Genesis, where the Most High is prophesying to Ha-Satan, and he's saying, look, I will put enmity, or I will put opposition or hostility between basically your seed, okay, the seed or the offspring. We know that seed denotes a child or children. It also denotes, when you talk about a child, you talk about a seed, you're talking about what the parent is going to be imparting into that seed. Okay, so whenever a parent imparts their knowledge or their wisdom into a seed, into their seed, this word is saying that when Satan, when his seed or his ways, rather, that is carried out through his children or his knowledge, his children, through physical children, spiritual children, his ways, more in particular, are going to be manifested, okay, into the earth realm from this point forward. So he's known, Ha-Satan is known, he's called by several different names. And these names denote, or these names, when a person has a name, the name embodies, ultimately is supposed to embody the characteristic of that person. So we know that the one that the set-apart spirit brought back to my remembrance was Ha-Satan is the father of all lies. Okay, so him being the father of all lies, that is one of the highest characteristics that his seed will partake and portray as it is manifested from this scripture forward. Now, this was in time. Okay. This was in time. This was not in eternity. Time had began because of the fall, okay? The fall of Adam and Eve. So therefore, the seed of Satan is his ways, ultimately lies that he will bring forth into the earth, okay? So, his ways, he's going to be hostile. Satan is going to be hostile against the seed of the woman, because it says the woman and thy seed and her seed, it shall crush or bruise thy head. In other words, the seed that the woman is going to bring forth, who is the woman? Initially, spiritually, the woman denotes